Good evening, lacrosse fans, and welcome to Ontario Series lacrosse action here in Whitby, Ontario at Iroquois Park Sports Complex, home of the Brooklyn Merchants. We are brought here to you by JVI Sports Network. Glad you could join us tonight for what should be a great home opener to the start of the 25th season of Brooklyn Merchants lacrosse. My name is Lucas Arger. Glad to be with you tonight. Let's take a look at our starting goalies tonight. For your hometown Brooklyn Merchants, it is number 72, Lucas Coote. Been a member of the Merchants for close to a decade now. He is looking to backstop this team to a President's Cup victory on his home turf. At the other end, for the Collingwood Crews in net, it's number 92, Jackson Hayner. He's played the majority of his minor career with the Peterborough Lakers Minor Association. He will look to have a good start in net tonight in Senior B. He has an unfortunate 0-2 record, looking to get win number 1 on the season tonight. Your officials for tonight, crew chief is Ben Kirkwood. He is joined by Matt Shamwa and Alex Wagner. We are underway. Here we go. First possession belongs to the Merchants. It'll be number 19, Devin Pfeiffer, taking that ball in across the timeline. Both teams get their systems out here. Merchants looking for an opening. Pfeiffer unable to make that pass over to number 91, his younger brother, Parker Pfeiffer. Loose ball. Pfeiffer finds it. That's a shot saved by Jackson Hayner. Collingwood comes away with the ball. They'll get it up across the timeline. New system here officiating-wise this year in Senior B lacrosse. 3 officials, different than the regular 2, so that is not a lag on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. There are 3 officials out there as opposed to the regular 2. Collingwood with their first offensive possession tonight, number 41. It's going to be Braden Hickey looking for a pass right now. He swings it to the righties. Shot in. That's going to get blocked by Merchants defender. Over the timeline. Scott Reed looking to push it the other way. He picks it up, gets through a couple of Crews defenders, unable to make a play there. Scoops it up in the corner. He gets bodied. Number 21, that's back over to Adam Peroni. He'll look to get it going. Gets the ball back to himself. He's looking for a pick. Brooklyn getting their final offensive player out there, as that is Parker Pfeiffer. Peroni trying to body his way, and he gets hit big time. Gets a shot off. Hayner with the save. Loose ball in the corner. Everyone's fighting it. Merchants come away with it. They get a full 30-second shot clock on that. Full reset here for the Merchants as we are still looking for the game's first goal. Pfeiffer over to the lefties. That's a shot that goes up and out of play. Going to be Cruz ball here. Collingwood looking to get it across the timeline. Again, another new rule that you have here in Senior B this year. 8 seconds to get it across. Similar to MSL and OJLL. New this year, you have 8 seconds to get it over as opposed to no time violation before. First year Senior B player Chase Forsyth looking for an opening. He finds it far side. Shot, just missed the net. No over and back. Late shot clock now for the Crews. They're going to look to get something going. Unable to get it. That's going to be a shot clock violation against Collingwood. Brooklyn picking it up, going the other way. That's going to be number 12 and Pat McCrory. Will McLeod had 3 goals in his Merchants debut last night on the road in a Merchants 10-6 win. Sorry, an 8-6 win over Six Nations. Look for him to contribute tonight for the Merchants. Meanwhile, loose ball is going to come right over to the right side. He gets stripped. Collingwood going the other way. Devin Pfeiffer going to backcheck, unable to do anything about it. Both teams completing their changes now as Collingwood looks to get a good offensive set. They've only had 1 shot on goal so far, and they just missed the target. So hopefully they can change that down the stretch here tonight. That's a good look from up top. That gets blocked. Merchants going the other way. They look to push the pace. 3-on-3 the other way. Saved by Hayner. That will not be over and back as it went off the goaltender. Collingwood is going to get that back. They will now have a full 30-second shot clock to work with. Graham Bergsma looking to make something happen. Seal set by Forsyth. Back over to lefties. Shot comes in. Just misses the mark. Loose ball late in the shot clock. Number 14, Peyton Wallace, going to come away with it. He'll pull it out to the far side, looks to get some support, and here it comes. That's number 16, Darren Elliott. That's going to be an illegal screen right there. Going to go back the other way for Collingwood. They'll look to push. Numbers aren't there as Brooklyn was able to get their defense out there quickly. John Weller in on the ball carrier, and now he's going to cause a disruption. Collingwood looking to set up another offensive system. Again, not a lot of shots on goal so far, so Collingwood is looking to change that. That's a ball that gets tipped. That's up in the air. Pat McCrory is going to come away with that. Loose ball now knocked down. Adam Perrone going to get in on the forward check. He's hacking. He's slashing. He's trying to dislodge that ball. Number 10 comes in. That's Will McLeod, as I said earlier, new Brooklyn Lacrosse Club draft pick. He's playing a couple of games here with the Merchants, get his feet tested in senior lacrosse. That ball becomes loose. Merchants back up over the timeline. Devin Pfeiffer off to number 16. That's Darren Elliott. He shoots, misses the mark. That's going to go out of play. Going to be a Collingwood Cruise ball. Collingwood, their first ever official season as the Cruise. And just as I say that, that's going to be a penalty coming to number 16, Darren Elliott, most likely for a slash once this possession ends. Collingwood, goaltender to the box. Oh, and now we have a little bit of a confusion as referee Matt Shamwa made a bit of an error saying that the infraction was on white, but it was actually on black, and he should have blown that dead. So that is going to be number 5 of the Cruise. That is Riley Morgan, who's going to go to the box. 2 minutes for slashing, and the Merchants will get the game's first power play opportunity. Pfeiffer, he shoots, that hits the iron. Full reset, 30 shot clock. Merchants get it back. To McLeod. He'll look, he'll shoot and fire. That misses the boards. He gets it back right over to Parker. He can't handle that pass. Collingwood comes away with it. 8 seconds to get it over. And they will get it across the timeline just in case. As Harrison Brooks will look for options. He sends it off to number 55, Aiden Saint. PK unit out for the Cruise. They'll be looking 3-on-4 as Parker Pfeiffer is going to do a little bit of cherry picking as he will stay in the offensive zone, looking to disrupt that penalty kill from the Cruise. That doesn't work. Shot on goal, handled by the Merchants, and they're back across the timeline. Will McLeod over to number 5. That is Eddie Renault. Back to McLeod up top. 3 lefties, 2 righties for this Merchants power play. Pfeiffer to McLeod. He shoots and scores. Will McLeod on the power play, and the Merchants have an early 1-0 lead. It's just 7.5 minutes into this game. That's Will McLeod from Devin Pfeiffer and Parker Pfeiffer on the power play, just 6.5 minutes into this first period. And that was a hell of a shot, too. The ball movement, the sealed that. McLeod was able to get up top. Quick 2 passes from the righties to get it back to the point, and McLeod just lets that rip right past Hayner. Ensuing face-off won by the Cruise. And they're getting pressured by both Reed and Devin Pfeiffer, unable to do that. Collingwood going to look to tie this game up as they go back on offense. Handled by number 37. That is Spencer Andrews. He looks for answers. Back to Bergsma. Back over to Andrews. He looks for something. Bergsma, see Forsyth around the net. He doesn't know where that pass went. That's a loose ball. Going to become a ball for the Merchants. And that's a full 30-second shot clock violation on the Cruise. Brooklyn ball. Darren Elliott looking for answers. Adam Perrone now playing without a chin strap. He could get called for that, but play goes on. Work it over. Yep, Perrone being told to get off by referee Wagner. So numbers advantage for the Cruise on defense, and they make the Merchants pay as a tip pass is loose. Oh, but they can't come away with it. That's going to be a loose ball push on Collingwood. Brooklyn ball. Back over to number 9 for the Merchants and Zach Kerrigan. That pass is tipped by a Cruise defender, and Collingwood will come away with it. As I mentioned earlier, this was Collingwood's first official season named as Collingwood. Since 2022, they were called the Clearview Crushers, playing out of Collingwood as well as the Meaford Community Center. But this year, they have foregone the Clearview name, and they are now the Collingwood Crews in black jerseys with teal trim. And I have to say, they are nice jerseys. The lettering is also very cool in terms of white and a bit of a teal color, so I like that. That's a high shot that comes in on Coot. That gets him up in the mask, and we're going to have a stoppage and play right now just to double check on him as he got rattled by that ball that hit him right between the eyes. And he will take a minute to recover from that as we will take a quick water break here from the officials. 1-0 is the score almost 10 minutes into this first period as the Merchants lead the Collingwood Crews. Coot getting checked out by the training staff during this water break. Appears to be all right, but it's not 100% confirmed until he is back in the net. Seems to be making some sort of a head-jerking motion backwards when he seemed to take that ball. He's getting some water in him. Growing up, when I was a goaltender, if you got rattled right between the eyes, it was never a fun time, especially since I was a field lacrosse goalie. So, box, I can only imagine how much worse it would have been. But Coot is a professional. He's been playing senior lacrosse and many years as a member of the Whitby Warriors Junior A team. He has seen a lot of those in his lifetime. And he's back in the cage as we're back underway. Brooklyn ball. That's Will Kerrigan. Zach Kerrigan, my fault. That's Zach Kerrigan up across the timeline. He sends that off. Oh! Gets the pass back off of his stick. That almost tipped through Hayner, but he was able to keep that out. Collingwood bringing it back up, looking to make something happen offensively. They haven't had a lot of chances as an errant pass gets by Collingwood offensive player. Brooklyn coming back the other way. They will look to get numbers as number 5. That's Eddie Renault. Gives it back off to Darren Elliott. He's going to send it down to the lefties. That's Parker Pfeiffer now with the ball coming in up top. He looks to make something happen. Darren Elliott looking for a seal. Errant pass by Pfeiffer. Goes for Collingwood. Eddie Renault now back on the back check. Shot by Collingwood in transition. Up and out of play. Merchants ball. Under 10 minutes to go in this opening period between the Collingwood Crews and the Brooklyn Merchants in their first game at home of this 2025 campaign. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the Brooklyn Merchants are the hosts for the President's Cup this year in their 25th season. And something new inside Iroquois Park Pad 1 this year is the turf you can see that they're playing on. In conjunction with the Brooklyn Lacrosse Club and the Whitby Junior A Warriors, the Merchants purchased the turf from the NLL's newest team to fold, the New York Riptide. As you can see, the Riptide logo in center, along with the orange crease and benches with the lettering. The orange and the navy lettering is very clean, I will say that, although it would look nicer with some sort of a Brooklyn or Whitby logo. Meanwhile, ball back the other way, Bergsma stopped by Coot. Full 30 reset for the Crews as they look to make something happen. Bergsma, right side, looking to make something happen. Doesn't have a lot of numbers, but he's going to get something going here. Yvonne Bolduc, loose ball, corrals it, back to Bergsma. He gets a shot, that's tipped by a Merchants defender. 3 seconds now on the shot clock. Far side, Bergsma looks to go back. No, can't do it. That's going to be a shot clock violation against the Crews. Merchants ball. Shot clock violations can either hurt or kill you inside box lacrosse, and everybody knows that. So the fact that Brooklyn has already caused Collingwood to violate or to have a lot of shot clock violations means their defense is doing a good thing. Meanwhile, on the back end, things get a little messed up. Peroni goes down for a cross check to the head. That's going to be number 93, Hunter Gilmore, going to the penalty box. We'll see what the call is from Alex Wagner. And that's going to be a 2-minute slashing call to Gilmore. Merchants going back to the power play, hoping to capitalize on it again and take a 2-0 lead. Will McLeod going to take the ball up top. It's McLeod. Both Pfeiffers, Renault and Zach Kerrigan is the power play unit. Parker Pfeiffer over to Renault. Back to Parker Pfeiffer. Up to Will McLeod. He shoots. Stopped by Hayner. McLeod with a great look right there, but Hayner able to close the 5-hole, keeps that ball out of play. Meanwhile, errant pass gets away from the Crews defender. That will go back into the sticks of the Brooklyn Merchants. Will McLeod up across the timeline. He'll do a lit and hidden ball trick right now. And McLeod will keep it himself. Off to Eddie Renault. Back to Kerrigan. McLeod up top. Shoots, he scores. Will McLeod with the second of the game on the power play, and the Merchants take a 2-0 lead. A little hidden ball trick there may have fooled the Crews defenders, but it wasn't enough as McLeod finds the back of the net for his second of the game and 5th already on the season. That's McLeod from Kerrigan and Renault on the power play. 2-0 Brooklyn. Back to 5-on-5. Draw one by Brooklyn. Parker Pfeiffer in on a partial breakaway. He shoots. Stopped by Jackson Hayner, and Parker goes hard into the boards from behind. That's going to be a penalty call right there. We'll see what this call is from crew chief Ben Kirkwood. As he's discussing it over with one of his officiating partners on what he saw in the call. Only thing I can say for certain is that number 55 on the Crews, that is Aiden Saint, will be going to the penalty box for a minimum of 2 minutes. We'll see what the call is as the officials are discussing it. And it looks to be a 4-minute checking from behind call against Saint. So Brooklyn, with 7:13 left to go here in the first period, will spend 4 minutes of it or less, depending if they score, on the power play. Brooklyn has already capitalized twice on the man advantage, looking to do it again. Let's see if they're able to do it. Same power play unit is out there of Kerrigan, Renault, McLeod, and both the Pfeiffer brothers. Devin down to Parker. Well, it's not Parker Pfeiffer. I apologize. That is Devin Pfeiffer with Darren Elliott. Parker Pfeiffer got hit on that play, so he might be on the bench tending to some injuries. Meanwhile, a shot by Eddie Renault gets stopped by Jackson Hayner. Crews ball going back the other way. 8 seconds to get across the timeline. Renault and Elliott chasing him down. Can't do it as the Crews get across. That's off to number 41 in Braden Hickey. Crews just looking to kill off as much time on this 4-minute penalty as they can. Hickey gets around one defender, looking to get around another. He gets stopped, mauled by a trio of Merchants defenders, and that'll be a shot clock violation and a push the other way. That's not going to do anything. No possession call right there. Brooklyn back the other way, and the Crews bench is not liking it. How there is no possession call on that play. Nonetheless, Merchants ball, power play unit back out there. Devin Pfeiffer down to Parker Pfeiffer, back out there. Stopped by Hayner. Crews trying to get it across the timeline. They're unable. Oh, they're just able to get that. I thought that was going to be an 8-second call, but they just wisely chuck it down the floor to not have an 8-second call, and Brooklyn will take it back the other way. Kerrigan to Renault. Will McLeod up top. Devin Pfeiffer. McLeod gets the seal. Devin unable to handle that pass. Gets tipped right to his brother Parker. Back to McLeod. He shoots. Stopped by Hayner. Loose ball. Back in the sticks of the Merchants. Parker Pfeiffer now looking for an option. Eddie Renault. BTB pass down low. Shoots, scores. Eddie Renault will find the back of the net for the Merchants' third goal of the game. Kerrigan with the BTB pass down low off a great feed from Parker Pfeiffer cross floor. Brooklyn has a 3-0 lead now, and they still will be on the power play as that goal reduces 4 minutes down to 2. So we are still 5-on-4 here in favor of the Brooklyn Merchants. They will look to add a fourth goal Scott Reed back at the faceoff dot for the Merchants against number 5. That was Riley Morgan. Loose ball comes away to the Crews. John Weller all over that Crews player, looking to kill off as much time as they can on the penalty. Pass far side. Crews would like to generate some offense, but it's hard to do when you're a man down and you don't have all your players even in the offensive zone. They'll just wisely shoot that on net. Stopped by Coop. Scott Reed with the ball up across to Will McLeod. Will McLeod down to Eddie Renault. Sorry, Zach Harrigan to McLeod. Back to Pfeiffer. Tip gets passed, knocked down. Devin Pfeiffer comes away with it. Off to Kerrigan. Shot, saved by Hayner. Reset Merchants. Brooklyn getting the looks that they want on this power play, but Hayner has settled in now after giving up 3. He'll look to not give up any more, but this is senior lacrosse. Anything is possible. Collingwood stripped. Eddie Renault back the other way. Off to Parker Pfeiffer. He'll dance in. Far side to Renault. Back to Peyton Wallace. He shoots. Stopped by Hayner. Just under 30 seconds left in this penalty kill as the Crews come back the other way. Shot. That misses the mark. That's going to go out of play. And that's going to be a Brooklyn ball with 20 seconds remaining on their 4-minute power play. They've already capitalized on it once, hoping to get one more look before the penalty is over. 3:31 remaining in this opening frame. Brooklyn Merchants lead the Collingwood Crews 3-0. Devin Pfeiffer looking for an opportunity. Will McLeod. Pass gets knocked down. Ball is still loose. McLeod somehow comes away with it. Off the shot. That's going to be a block. Goes out of play off Collingwood. Brooklyn possession. Renault back to Pfeiffer. We're back to 5-on-5 action. Collingwood able to kill off the second portion of that 4-minute double minor for checking from behind. 5-on-5. They're hoping to make something happen now. Coming across the timeline, that gets checked, but Collingwood still able to get it over prior to the 8-second count. Shot on by number 18. That is Evan Gray. Coop makes the stop. Brooklyn coming the other way now. Scott Reed over to Darren Elliott. He's got numbers. He'll feed it down low. Shot. Scores. Scott Reed to Darren Elliott to Zach Kerrigan. My bad. That is Zach Kerrigan. As he makes it 4-0 Brooklyn. Collingwood just unable to get the numbers back on defense, and Reed able to find Elliott, who finds Kerrigan on the crease. He makes one step, goes far side, and Brooklyn has a 4-0 lead. Face-off won by Collingwood. Collingwood, despite everything that they have done wrong so far in this first period, they are winning the face-off dot. Chase Forsyth now with the ball far side. He looks, can't find anything. That's back up to number 14, Steve Portelli. Forsyth looks far side. Crews player can't handle that pass. Brooklyn comes away with it. 2 minutes left to go now in this first period. McLeod has the ball up top. He has been their main quarterback for everything offensively so far this period. Meanwhile, Eddie Renault takes the ball, muscles his way in. That's stopped by Hayner. It goes out of play. Full reset 30 for the Merchants. McLeod, Darren Elliott. He shoots over the top and scores. Got a little bit of extracurriculars after the goal, a little pushing and shoving. But nonetheless, Brooklyn, 5-0 lead now they have. Eddie Renault started that by bulldozing his way in towards goal. Hayner stopped the shot, but it went out of play, so the Merchants got the ball back. And Darren Elliott able to find a little bit of shooting space right around the defender, right over top nonetheless, and that got by Hayner. Brooklyn has been all over the Crews so far in this first period. Collingwood has not gotten a lot of opportunities offensively, hence why Brooklyn has a 5-0 lead. Draw won by the Merchants. That's Scott Reed. Off to John Weller. Both of them were members of the 2022 Whitby Warriors Junior A Minto Cup winning team. Devin Pfeiffer now. He'll swing it far side off to Kerrigan. Back to Adam Peroni. He shoots. Stopped by Hayner. Collingwood looking to make something happen. Number 24 is going to come in. He's unable to make something happen as he gets double teamed. Final minute remaining in the opening period between the Merchants and the Crews. Merchants hold a 5-0 lead. Potential last offensive set for the Merchants in this period. Parker Pfeiffer going to work. He sends that out to Darren Elliott. Elliott looking for a room. McLeod sets the pick. Renault comes in. Shoots. Stopped by Hayner. Full reset now for the Merchants. Just under 30 seconds left. Shot clock and game clock separated by about 5 seconds. So Brooklyn will have to get at least one final shot off. But that won't matter as Devin Pfeiffer is stripped. Collingwood had possession. Now they throw it away. Now it's back to Parker Pfeiffer. Lucas Coote to the bench. Extra attacker out. 6 on 5. 10 seconds to go. Merchants looking for final shot. 6, 5, 4. Shot. Peroni. Stopped by Hayner. Through the crease violation on Peroni. That'll be Collingwood ball. And with 2 seconds left, play will get blown in and nothing will come of it. 3 penalties for the Crews result in 5 goals for the Merchants. 4 of them on the power play. Brooklyn Merchants lead the Collingwood Crews 5-0 after 20 minutes of play. You're watching Ontario Series Lacrosse, brought to you by JVI Sports Network. Second period action underway now. Merchants still have a 5-0 lead over the Collingwood Crews in their first ever matchup as the Crews. And that opening draw of the second period is won by the Crews. Close to an 8-second count, but the Collingwood is able to get it across the timeline. Loose ball won by the Merchants. Number 3 is going to bring that up across the timeline. Don't have a number for him, a name for him, oddly enough. See if I can get that later on. Nonetheless, ball is right over to Zach Kerrigan on the left side. He gets to the middle of the floor, swings it over to Adam Peroni, down to Devin Pfeiffer. That's going to be an illegal screen call. Collingwood back the other way. Play blown back in. Collingwood across center. Looking for numbers. A possible holding infraction not called by the officials. Collingwood, 15 on the shot clock. Shot saved on by Coote. Boldeck with the rebound. He gets hammered in the corner. Back out to Bergsma. Bergsma at the top for Portelli. Over to Brenzel. Matt Brenzel looking for some room. That gets stopped. Shot by Portelli, stopped by Coote. That's going the other way. Coote on fire to begin this game. Hasn't given up a goal. Granted, Crews have not been able to get a lot of offensive chances and some good looks, but nonetheless, ball stays out and Coote's save percentage is still 1,000 on the night. Devin Pfeiffer over to Kerrigan. Pass gets picked off, back the other way. Partial breakaway opportunity now for Bergsma. He takes it in. Shot misses the mark. John Weller corrals the rebound. He is going to bring it back over. Merchants get their offense back out. Parker Pfeiffer. Tried to slip it over to Eddie Renault, who was on his wrong side. That didn't get through. Pfeiffer still able to find the loose ball. He's looking for numbers. Parker Pfeiffer, the 2025 Senior ALL MVP this past season in the Winter League with the Toronto Monarchs. Eddie Renault over to Kerrigan. He shoots and scores. late in the shot clock. A little two-man action between Renault and Kerrigan results in Kerrigan getting his second, I believe, of the game, and it's 6-0 Brooklyn. It's the late in the shot clock possessions that can either make or break you, and for this, it's just a two-man, simple bump, pick and roll. Renault to Kerrigan, back of the net. Nothing Jackson Hayner can do about that in goal. Collingwood, once again, able to dominate at the face-off dot. By my count, they've only lost one draw to the Merchants. So like I said, despite everything wrong that they are doing, they are still able to dominate at the face-off X. Collingwood looking for answers right now. Spencer Andrews going to swing it over to Chase Forsyth. He shoots, hits the side of the net. No reset on that. 5 seconds now. Forsyth thought he had it. And as he misses it, that's going to be a possession call on the Merchants for a push on the back. Cruz looking to get something offensively going. Collingwood looking to make something happen. One-on-one here. Shot. Far side. Misses. Forsyth trying to find it. Didn't know what he was doing there. Graham Bergsma with the pickup. He gets trail checked. And that will roll into the crease for Brooklyn. Coote with a little BTB pass. That's out. Brooklyn now has 23 seconds on the shot clock to work with here. Will McLeod already has 2 in this game so far for 5 goals on the season. He will be looking for his 6th. Darren Elliott. Back over to Kerrigan. He can't handle that pass. 7 on the shot clock. Swiped away by a Cruz defender. 3 seconds now. Eddie Renault's going to have to huck it down the floor, and he does exactly that to prevent a shot clock violation in their defensive half. So it'll be the Cruz coming out of their defensive half to get it across the timeline to start their offensive possession. Bolduc. Apologies on that pronunciation. That is Bolduc over to Scott Edwards. He will send it now far side. Back out to Bolduc. Andrews. Shot saved on by Coote. Loose ball. Stays out of the crease somehow for not back in. Oh, Scott Reed picks it up and just errantly throws a pass behind the back style to no one. Collingwood comes away with it. Braden Hickey now. Over to Steve Portelli. He shoots. Stopped by Lucas Coote. Coote looking to push the pace a little bit. Over to Scott Reed. Numbers the other way for the Merchants. Reed to McLeod. Back to Pfeiffer. Reed can't handle that pass. McLeod comes away with it. Still has 16 seconds on the shot clock to work with. Brooklyn has been dominating this Collingwood defense, picking them apart left, right, and center. As I said at the first intermission, 5 goals for Brooklyn in that first period, 4 of them on the power play. Shot clock violation by the Merchants. Collingwood going back the other way. John Weller able to get back to prevent a potential fast break opportunity for the Crews. Collingwood hoping to get something going offensively. They're looking for a spark. They've been unable to penetrate this tough, determined Brooklyn defense. They've been unable to find any inside shooting lanes. And as I say that, a ball comes to the middle of the floor, shot, stopped on by Coote. Down the floor, fast break opportunity, shoot, scores! And that's number 33, Jason Crawford, on a pass from number 12, Pat McCrory, I believe. And as Crawford scores, gives a little hug to the official, Matt Shamwa, just for good measure. Brooklyn now leads 7-0, just over 5 minutes into this first period. And we are going to see a goalie change, as that could be it for Jackson Hayner. Now coming into the game for the Collingwood Crews, it's number 0, Elijah Trudeau. So Hayner's night could be done. 7 goals in just over 25 minutes of action. Just not the start that he was looking for. Face-off won by the Crews and then lost back the other way That's number 37 for the Merchants. I believe that is Jacob Hickey. It is. He finds Scott Reed. He's barreling in. Reed, not a big guy, so he gets bodied around. And the Crews come away with it. Ball loose. Wallace fighting for it. Scott Edwards comes away with the ball now. Crews are going to get their offense out there on the floor. A potential high stick call is not called by the officials. First motion was up, but nothing egregious. Crews looking for something. Shot. Oh, that's a high hit. That's a hit high, up high. And yes, that will be a high sticking penalty. Sorry, and that will be on number 7, Pat McCrory. So Pat McCrory is in number 7 tonight, not number 12. I will try to get a name on who number 12 is, but nonetheless, that is number 7, Pat McCrory in the penalty box for the Brooklyn Merchants. A 2-minute minor for high sticking. Collingwood's first opportunity on the power play tonight comes with 13:34 left in the first period. Graham Bergsma will quarterback it at the top. Back to Bergsma. Over to Steve Portelli. Back to Bergsma. Left side now. Shot. Saved on by Coot. Rebound gained by the Crews. Full 30 seconds now. Bergsma looking for options. He's going to send it to Portelli. Bergsma sets the seal. Portelli coming in over the top. He shoots. Hits Coot up high. He makes a save. That'll be another 30-second shot clock reset for Collingwood. Portelli. Top shoots. Saved on by Coot. He looks to push the pace. 1-on-3 the other way for the Merchants. Now 1-on-4 as Collingwood is going to have a bit of a cherry picker. He's going to change, and Brooklyn will get at least a third offensive player now as they kill off a penalty. Minute gone in this man advantage for the Crews. Pfeiffer looks for Eddie Renault on the inside, unable to find him. Loose ball now, shot clock violation on the Merchants. Crews have 50 seconds left to work with on this man advantage, looking for some sort of spark. The Crews have been hitting icebergs all game long so far. They've been unable to penetrate the Brooklyn defense. And as I say that, Chase Forsyth on the doorstep. He takes a shot. He's going to get bodied. That's going to be a loose ball push. Crews ball. Forsyth will take it in the corner. Looks far side. Crews looking for options. 37. Back up to Spencer Andrews. Over to Bergsma. He shot. Won't get through. That hit a Merchant stick back the other way. Cody Hamley now with the ball coming in across the timeline. Will McLeod will take it. Brooklyn penalty is almost up. 2 seconds left. And we are back to 5-on-5 action here. Merchants still hold a 7-0 lead. Collingwood unable to capitalize on that man advantage. And as I say that, another man advantage opportunity would come, but it did not as the Merchants score another one, courtesy of number 9, Eddie Renault. A Merchants offensive player got hit without the ball. A penalty would be coming to the Crews, but as that play was happening, the Crews defenders were standing around. Eddie Renault slips in behind the Crews defense, and he is able to score his third of the game, I believe. I believe that is 3 goals for Renault. It's now 8-0 Merchants. Collingwood, another face-off win for them. They've been on fire tonight. That is number 21, Colin Matthews, winning that draw. He'll send it to Chase Forsyth. Forsyth looking for answers. He'll send it off to Bolduc. Shot on. Coot with the stop. He'll send it the length of the floor down to Scott Reed. 2-on-2 the other way. Reed looking for answers. Over to Devin Pfeiffer. Sorry, that's Parker Pfeiffer. He can't handle it. Eddie Renault off the bench. He'll scoop it. Renault finds Reed. Reed going in. Twister shot saved on by Trudeau. And that will be a loose ball push by the Crews. Going to be Brooklyn Merchants ball. At this time, the Brooklyn Merchants would like to thank their sponsors for the 2025 season. BMS Sanitation Oshawa, Brooklyn Home Hardware. And I will continue that list when we come back, as Brooklyn has scored their 9th goal of the game so far. I believe that was by Darren Elliott. Brooklyn is just now pouring it on Collingwood. Collingwood, not a very strong team defensively, and Brooklyn just doing one more thing better than what Collingwood is. Hence the reason they have a 9-0 lead. Adam Peroni on the face-off now. He wins it. Brooklyn comes away with possession. Renault shoots, scores. Parker Pfeiffer to Eddie Renault on the inside. That is a behind-the-back bounce shot that sneaks through Trudeau, and that will be it for him. Elijah Trudeau gives up 3 goals on just under 10 shots by my count, and Collingwood has called a timeout to hopefully reset this team a little bit, as it's just not their night. Unable to get on the board. It is now 10-0 Brooklyn with 10 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the second frame. Getting back to what I was saying earlier, as the Brooklyn Merchants would like to thank their sponsors for the 2025 season and their 25th anniversary. BMS Sanitation Oshawa, Brooklyn Home Hardware, Sports Clips Brooklyn, Brooklyn Natural Health, Corrado's Restaurant and Bar in Brooklyn, C&R Transmission, Summit Access Solutions, Sports Section Oshawa, Langield Metal Recycling, Patlon Aircraft, the Royal Canadian Legion, Staples Canada Incorporated, Cobb's Bread in Brooklyn, Banter & Co. Brewing, Land and Gate Real Estate, Oshawa Hearing Aid Clinic, Black's Ice, and DKI CRCS. Thank you for sponsoring the Brooklyn Merchants in their 25th anniversary and season, in hopes of them winning a President's Cup this season. 10-0 now for the Brooklyn Merchants. Jackson Hayner back in net for the Crews. Ensuing faceoff coming, won by the Crews. That is number 5, Riley Morgan on the faceoff draw. Jace Forsyth now looking for something. He'll dish. He'll send it over. Back to the top. That's Portelli looking for answers. Back down to Forsyth. He looks for room. Shoots. Stopped on by Coote. He didn't know where that was going. That's going to go off Jacob Hickey, number 37 on Brooklyn, and out of play. Crews ball. Number 8, Ben Baker, will take the ball in. He'll send it up top to Portelli. Collingwood looking to get something going, hoping to erase that goose egg. Shot on by Andrews. That is Spencer Andrews. Shoulder save by Coote. Rebound comes to the Crews. Andrews back on it. Pass to the middle. Knocked down by Reed. He'll look to push the floor. He's going to. That's 3-on-2 the other way. They have numbers. Reed with the ball. Now he shoots. Stopped by Hayner. Hickey looking to find it. He'll get it. Hickey comes away with it. Looking for an outlet. And he will send it far side for Parker Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer comes around the seal set by Peroni. Back out to Renault. Kerrigan. McLeod up top. Back to Parker Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer, far side to Renault. He can't get his hands free. 10 on the shot clock now. Renault coming around the top. He's looking for something. Back down to Pfeiffer. He's going to come across. Shoots. Stopped on by Hayner. Jackson Hayner throws a pass out. Number 24 for the Crews, and Scott Edwards will take it up across the timeline. He'll find Graham Bergsma coming in off the bench. He'll send it far side, down for Hickey. Shot on by Colin Matthews, number 21, goes out of play off Lucas Coote. Crews ball. Bergsma to Bolduc. Far side, pass can't connect. McCrory back the other way. Forsyth running him down. He's got numbers. McCrory has McLeod. He shoots. Saved by Hayner. Got caught in the jersey of Jackson Hayner as McCrory thought he had one. But it remains a 10-goal lead for the Merchants. Bergsma, far side. Coming off the bench. That's a save by Coote. Loose ball corralled by the Merchants. And Brooklyn across the timeline. Devin Pfeiffer now with the ball, looking to make something happen. Eddie Renault, far side. Pfeiffer looking, gets it inside. BTB just misses. 10 on the shot clock now for Elliott to work with. He's going to get a steal from Peroni. Shot in. Saved by Hayner. Peroni looking to find it. Cruz come away with the ball now. 7:18 remaining in this second period. 20 seconds on the shot clock now for Collingwood to work with. Portelli looking to make something happen. But as I've said all game long, goose egg for the Crews. Unable to make anything happen against this relentless Brooklyn defense. Looking to have no goals scored on them all night long if they can keep that going. Andrews now. They have a full reset. He will send it over to Bergsma. Bergsma trying to body his way in. Can't find it. Errant pass is thrown. And back the other way is Brooklyn. They have a 2-on-1 coming back the other way. It's Renault. John Weller. He's going to get the ball. That's going to be a penalty coming against the Crews, as that will be number 93. And Hunter Gilmore will be the culprit. And that looks like that's going to be a charging call. Brooklyn back on the power play now. 6:27 remaining in the second frame. Gilmore, his second penalty of the game. Brooklyn back on the power play with their top unit of Will McLeod anchoring it. His lefties are Eddie Renault and Will Kerrigan. His righties are, of course, Zach Kerrigan. I've been messing that up all night long. Apologies for that. That is Zach Kerrigan and Will McLeod. One Zach, one Will, no two Wills. Ball stripped by Collingwood. Pfeiffer, Renault, down to Kerrigan. Shot, saved on by Hayner. He doesn't know where it is. Ball becomes loose in the crease. Collingwood back the other way. 24 now. Scott Edwards bringing it across the timeline. 17 seconds remaining on the shot clock for the Crews. Hopeful for a reset and another 30 possession, but doesn't look like that's happening as they can't even get below the restraining line to get any shots. As I say that, Portelli gets in, now gets out, shot out from distance, doesn't hit the mark, reset. 30 seconds now back the other way for Brooklyn. Parker Pfeiffer has the ball now. He will wait for the power play unit to come out. Eddie Renault now, number 5, the lefty, will swing it to the top for Will McLeod. McLeod behind the back feed, doesn't get to Renault. Kerrigan comes out with it. McLeod, BTB feed. Renault back to McLeod up top. Pfeiffer back to Renault, far side, shoots. Stopped on by Hayner. Ball gets swatted out. Merchants get a full 30 seconds now. 4 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock on the penalty. McLeod shoots. That doesn't hit the mark. That will stay in play. Renault to Kerrigan. Back to Renault. Shot. Saved on by Hayner. Parker Pfeiffer with the ball now. Back to McLeod. 10 seconds left on this man advantage for Brooklyn. Shot on by McLeod. He scores. Great ball movement has been the key to success for the Merchants tonight as Parker Pfeiffer finds Eddie Renault. That's Zach Kerrigan, who finds Will McLeod, who buries the Merchants' 11th goal of the game. The Merchants have just been relentless all night, pouring it on, and have been unstoppable offensively, as the Crews have had no answer to stopping this highly potent Merchants offense. Adam Peroni has the ball now. He'll send it down to Parker Pfeiffer. Parker waiting for answers. Back out, number 12. Again, we don't have a name on him, so not sure who he is. But that pass, he misses that pass. And as that goes in the corner, Spencer Andrews is going to come away with it. He's going to find a trailer coming off the bench. He misses the mark. He can't touch it as he went through the crease. And Brooklyn gets it back the other way. Far side now. Devin Pfeiffer comes in, shoots, waits out Hayner, and he scores. Devin Pfeiffer is going to come in off the bench. Comes off the bench, calls for the pass, waits out Jackson Hayner, and tucks it in far side. 12-0 Brooklyn. This has just been a one-sided affair all night long. Collingwood was in the game for about the first 3-4 minutes of it in the first period, but after that, it's been Brooklyn all night long as they now lead by a baker's dozen. But despite everything Collingwood's done wrong, they're still dominating at the faceoff dot, winning every draw but 2 on my count. Collingwood shot is stopped by Coote, and they get the possession, so they'll have a full reset, which is already down to 20. Bergsma looking for answers. He shoots, stopped on by Coote. Corralled by the Crews. Bergsma with the reset. Over to the lefties now. 77 gets knocked down. That's an errant pass away. Scott Reed. Oh, tries to do the one-handed scoop. He can't find it. But they're going to say that he did not have full possession, so not a full reset for the Crews. They have 10 seconds left now, looking to make something happen. Just under 3 minutes left in the second frame. Far side, shot, hits the official. 2 seconds left. Merchants get it just before the shot clock expires, and they will now have 8 seconds to get it over. Devin Pfeiffer over to Scott Reed. He gets it across center. Scott Reed going to go for a change. Hands off to Will McLeod. Eddie Renault, one-on-one. McLeod sets the seal. Renault over the top. Shot. Can't hit the mark. That will go out of play into the penalty box. Collingwood ball. Oh, miscommunication right there from the Crews. Almost results in a turnover, but nonetheless, Scott Edwards still able to hold on to it. Meanwhile, Colin Matthews looks the body's way in. He shoots, stopped by Coote. Pat McCrory over to Eddie Renault. He'll take it up. Brooklyn going to settle it now. They have a big lead, so they can afford to not go fast and take their time and try something new. As Parker Piper is going to send it now. Kerrigan didn't know that he caught that, so that becomes loose. Renault's going to find it. That shot gets blocked. Loose ball in the corner. Kerrigan looking for it. He's fighting. He needs to get a shot off, and he hits his own teammate by mistake, as that would hit Renault in the leg, and a shot clock violation on the Merchants. Collingwood back the other way by Chase Forsyth. Forsyth looking for answers. He finds a trailer in off the bench. That's number 41, Braden Hickey. He can't handle that pass. It becomes loose. Hickey finds it. Matthews streaking in. Shot on by him. That gets saved by Coote. Loose ball. That'll be a penalty on Weller coming up, as his stick gets caught in the helmet of a Crews player. And Brooklyn will be shorthanded with 1:21 remaining in the second period. Oh, my mistake. They're actually going to send both players to the penalty box. That is going to be number 77, Matt Brenzel, and John Weller of Brooklyn, each going for 2 minutes. It's going to be coincidental infractions, and we're going to play some 4-on-4 lacrosse. And that's another my mistake, as this is senior lacrosse, so the penalties do offset, so we are going 5-on-5. Brenzel for a cross-check. Weller for a hold. Those penalties cancel out. We will remain 5-on-5, Collingwood possession. Far side, Forsyth now on the righties. Down to Bergsma. He's looking for an answer. Far side, shot on. Tipped by a Merchants defender. That ball becomes loose. Back out the other way. Jacob Hickey now on a breakaway. Hickey versus Hayner. Hickey shoots, hits the iron. Hickey wanted that one. He beat everything but the post. Crossbar can sometimes be a goalie's best friend. And that was the case right now for Hayner. Ball comes back to Brooklyn. Devin Pfeiffer in, shot on. Saved by Hayner. Reset, full 30 for Brooklyn. Under 30 seconds left to go now in the second period. Feed inside to Pfeiffer. Save by Hayner. Kerrigan back down to McLeod. 20 seconds remaining now in the period. McLeod going to wait it out a little bit. Looks for the seal. Here it comes up top. He'll send it to Kerrigan. BTB pass. Parker Pfeiffer on his wrong side. He will just wisely shoot it. Clock ticking down now in the period. And the second period will come to a close with the Brooklyn Merchants leading the Collingwood Crews by a dozen. It is 12-0 Brooklyn after 40 minutes of play. You're watching Ontario Series Lacrosse, brought to you by JVI Sports Network here at Iroquois Park Sports Complex in Whitby, Ontario. Usually does. Third period of action just set to get underway here between the Collingwood Crews and the Brooklyn Merchants. Brooklyn leading 12-0. Third period underway now. Scott Reed comes away with it. And that will be a turnover on the Merchants for a minor interference call. Collingwood hoping to score at least one goal here tonight. They drove over 2 hours to get here. Not sure if they will come away with a goal, but they're hoping to. Graham Bergsma, shot, blocked off by Reed. McCrory comes away with it. Up to Scott Reed. Reed just can't handle that pass. Jackson Hayner will corral it, send the ball up to Chase Forsyth. He'll send it over to Graham Bergsma. Bounce pass over to number 41, Braden Hickey. Hickey, pass got deflected. Jacob Hickey runs over that ball. He had it, just took a couple steps too far. Errant pass can't be handled by the Crews, as number 7, Pat McCrory, is going to take it up across the timeline. McCrory to Elliott coming in off the bench. Assistant captain Adam Peroni with the ball now. He'll set the seal. Elliott coming in. Off to Kerrigan. That's Zach Kerrigan. Not Will Kerrigan. No such thing. There's Zach Kerrigan. Hayner with the save. Collingwood back the other way. They got a 2-on-1 now. 2-on-2. Wisely, Crews will pull it out and get their numbers out here. That is Andrews now with the ball. He'll send it for Bergsma. He's waiting for numbers to come in. He is alone right now on an island. He will send it down to Steve Portelli. Finds the cutter. That will be an errant pass. That will go over center. Jason Crawford now picks it up, shoots. Stopped by Hayner. Crawford scored his first goal that way, was hoping to get a second the same way. But Hayner said not today. Forsyth, monster of a load. Saved on by Coote, hit him in the big M in the middle of his chest. Daryl Robertson running the ball. Over to Jacob Hickey. He finds Parker Pfeiffer, who shoots. Stopped by Hayner, hit the knob of his stick. And behind the play, we're going to have a roughing infraction to number 93, Gilmore. That is his third infraction of the game. And as that play is blown dead, the 2 coincidental penalties will come out of the box, which means the Crews will get Brenzel back and the Merchants will get Weller. Roughing infraction. That's a minor penalty to Gilmore. Brooklyn back on the power play. Will McLeod at the point. His shooters are Devin Pfeiffer and Eddie Renault. The creasemen are Parker Pfeiffer and Zach Kerrigan. Devin Pfeiffer back to McLeod up top. He's working. Parker Pfeiffer shoots. Stopped on in the feet of Jackson Hayner. He makes that save. Collingwood comes away with it. Aiden Saint with the ball now. Scott Reed is going to cross-check him. Push him back into the boards. Reed doing everything that he can. He is a small but mighty player. Not much bigger than me at 5'7", but he is a menace on defense. He's going to get cross-checked from behind. No possession call, but that doesn't matter as the Merchants come away with it now. Devin Pfeiffer going to wait for reinforcements to come as the Merchants will get their power play unit back out there and Collingwood gets their PK system. McLeod up top. BTB pass shot. Saved on by Hayner. Rebound comes to Brooklyn. Full 30 seconds. McLeod has it back up top. Down to Kerrigan. Looks. McLeod back to Kerrigan. Down low for Renault. Round the crease. Crease violation. Collingwood back the other way now. That'll be a penalty committed by Devin Pfeiffer. And that is going to be a holding call against Devin Pfeiffer. He will go to the box, and that will negate the Brooklyn power play. Not that they need it, though, as they still lead by 12. We'll play 4-on-4 here for 43 seconds. Collingwood will begin the play with possession. And just before that happens, a little jawing going back and forth between Parker Pfeiffer and the head coach of the Collingwood Crews, and that is Andy Glenn. 4-on-4, a little bit more room to work with. Bergsma, shot on by Coote, who has been on fire all night. Yet to allow a goal, and just because I said that, it probably will happen, unfortunately. So I will knock on wood here, up here in the broadcast booth, hoping that he does put up a goose egg on the Crews. Bergsma looking for reinforcements. Sorry, that is Portelli who had the ball, couldn't do anything. He will send it to Bergsma. Bergsma gets inside, shoots, and he will get the Crews' first goal of the game. Lucas Coote, I do apologize. Because I said that you would allow a goal, you did surrender a goal. I apologize to you, my friend. Bergsma gets Collingwood's first goal of the game, 4-on-4 off the assist of Steve Portelli. Bergsma was able to get past one defender, slip through, and put it top right corner on Coote. 12-1 is our score now. 15:46 remaining in the third period. 4 more seconds of 4-on-4 lacrosse. Draw one by Collingwood, and they will now go on a power play for 1:12. Brooklyn will set up their man down system. They are now on the PK as Collingwood will get their system out there. 37, Andrews, Portelli, Forsyth. To Bolduc. Back to Andrews. Bolduc shot. Blocked by Hickey. That will cause a shot clock violation. Hickey going to run the floor. No, he will not. He will get up over center to avoid an 8-second violation, and he will wait for the other offensive players to come on the floor. Adam Peroni with the ball now. He will get it low down to Darren Elliott. He will rotate up top, gets a pick from Peroni, sends it far side. That's going to go on for Zach Kerrigan. That's Zach Kerrigan, not Will Kerrigan. I've been getting that wrong a lot tonight, but that is Zach Kerrigan. He'll take it to net. Shot on. Hayner stops it. 12 seconds remaining in the man advantage for Collingwood. Hopefully nothing will come of it if you're a Merchants fan. If you're Collingwood, you want to go now. You only got 4 seconds left. Colin Matthews was thinking that. He'll pull it out. Bergsma with the ball now. Pfeiffer out of the penalty box. 5-on-5. Matthews scores. Not long after the Brooklyn penalty expires is when Collingwood gets their second of the game. And they still trail by a large margin of 10 goals. It's now 12-2 in favor of Brooklyn. Penalty expires is when teams often do like to go on certain systems and operations, and that is exactly what Collingwood did to get their second of the game. Draw one. That's going to be, oh God, oh no. We are going to have Hunter Gilmore wanting to take a rip at Parker Pfeiffer. We are going to have these players. Hopefully nothing comes of it. Officials are in there trying to break it up. Gilmore wanted to go. Parker Pfeiffer is having nothing of it. And this is turning into a bit of a ragdoll match. Gilmore trying to rip off the bucket. It eventually does pop off, but nothing of it. And his day is most likely over as that is it for him in a one-sided affair. Gilmore looking to get something going offensively or some sort of a spark. He's unable to get it, and as he's getting dragged off the floor, he will rip off the helmet of Adam Peroni. Peroni just smiles and chuckles as Gilmore's day is officially over. He will hit the showers. And with over 14 minutes remaining in this third period, this game could get out of hand if the officials are unable to keep it in control. As an official myself, you always want to be proactive, not reactive. So in this case, the official Alex Wagner was able to jump in there, prevent anything, and Gilmore was able to slip out of the reach of Wagner to rip off Peroni's bucket, but nothing comes of it. Parker Piper getting attended to by the medical staff on Brooklyn. Seems to be okay. Peroni just having a good chuckle there with Nemmer Haber, who is the assistant trainer for the Brooklyn Merchants. And after all of that is done, looks to only be the one infraction on Collingwood. Wagner going over to both benches to let them know what the call will be and how much time is on the board. We now see 5 minutes up there for a major on Gilmore. Someone will still have to serve his penalty as his day is done. But what we do know is that Brooklyn will have a minimum 5-minute power play unless they score 2 goals on that, in which case it will become 5-on-5 lacrosse. But for now, they will start play with a 5-minute man advantage. And as referee Wagner is telling both benches what occurred, he seems to be getting attended to by the Brooklyn medical staff as he was preventing a brawl. Looks to have gotten cut on his hand. Getting a little taped up there. Never a bad thing as a referee to get a tape job done. As at the end of the day, there are always 3 teams out there, never 2. The officials are a team in and amongst themselves. That is something that many people forget to do. Sorry, not forget to do. That is something that they forget with 3 teams out there, not just 2. When it's all said and done, Brooklyn on a 5-minute power play now. McLeod up top. Darren Elliott. Far side to Kerrigan. Down to Renault. Sorry, that was Renault down to Kerrigan. The 9 and the 5 have been tripping me up all night long. Almost an over and back violation committed by the Crews, but nothing comes of it. And as the PA announcer here inside Iroquois Park Sparks Sports Complex announces the penalty, it is a match penalty for roughing and for reckless and endangering play committed by Gilmore on Collingwood. That is the 5-minute major. Meanwhile, Brooklyn will be down a man. Or will they? Nope. They were up. We are now even. We'll go to 4-on-4. Pat McCrory, guilty of a slashing infraction. Gilmore just trying to whack the ball out of the stick of the Collingwood player as he fell to the turf. Unable to do that. He caught part of the head or the body. Not sure which it was, but nonetheless, it is a slashing infraction, and we will have some 4-on-4 lacrosse for 2 minutes' time. Portelli gets the seal by Bergsma. Bergsma looking inside, can't corral that pass, and the ball comes into the stick of Lucas Coote, who's only allowed 2 goals on over 40 shots up to this point. Zach Kerrigan with the ball now left side. He'll feed it up top to Devin Pfeiffer. He gets around one defender, slips in, shoots off the crossbar. He beat Jackson Hayner by a mile, but was unable to beat the red piece of metal. Collingwood now 4-on-4. Little bit more room out there to work with. Hopefully they can make something happen. That's Edwards with a monster of a shot. Misses the mark, hits the roof, turnover, Merchants ball. 12 remaining in this final frame between the Collingwood Crews and the Brooklyn Merchants playing in their home opener. Should the score remain the same, Collingwood will fall to 0-3 on the season, while Brooklyn will improve to 2-1 after an 8-6 victory last night in Six Nations. Playing in Six Nations at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena is always a tough environment to play in. Nations are always a tough and relentless team, but nonetheless, Brooklyn was able to escape with a 2-goal victory last night, hoping they can stay in the win column tonight. 21 now, Colin Matthews. He looks for some room, doesn't get it. He'll swing it over to Bergsma. He was cut through. Matthews can't handle that pass. Weller with the ball now. He'll send it up top. Numbers the other way. McCrory to Reed. Reed shoots. Once again, Brooklyn keeps hitting the iron. I don't know how many times they have done this, but Brooklyn seems to be hitting everything but the black mesh lately over the past 6.5 minutes of play. They are hitting the thing that goalies love the most, posts. Great if you're a goalie, bad if you're a scorekeeper. You want to hit the black mesh or white mesh depending on the net. You just never want to hit the red metal. But that is what Brooklyn has done as of late. Maybe they can make something happen now with their 5-minute power play still intact. 1:15 remaining on that. Devin Piper with the ball now. He will send it down to Brother Parker. Back to Devin. Over to Will McLeod. He'll get the seal. Back to Parker Piper. He shoots. Stopped by Hayner. Since coming out and coming back into the game, Jackson Hayner has looked very solid in net. Only allowed 1 or 2 goals by my count and has made a couple of key and highlight reel stops, whether with the stick or the glove or it's just hitting him and not knowing where it is. But nonetheless, it is still a 10-goal lead with 10 minutes left to go now in this third period. Devin Piper over to Kerrigan. That stop gets blocked, knocked down by a defender, almost went in the net for the Crews, but it stays out. And Scott Edwards takes the ball across center. Ball knocked down. Brooklyn back the other way. Shoots. Misses the net. Number 71. Again, don't have a name for him. He was hoping to get on the score sheet, but unable to do so on that play as he misses the net wide. Edwards now with the ball. We are back to 5-on-5 action. Collingwood able to kill off that 5-minute power play. And they still trail by 10. Lucas Coote, Lucas Coote with the save. Darryl Robertson up with the ball now. He'll give it to Adam Perrone. Perrone going to give it to Robertson. Robertson going to stay out here and play an offensive set. Kerrigan up to William McLeod. McLeod looking for answers, looking for some room. Gives it to Kerrigan. 5 on the shot clock now. Got to get a shot off. Back over to Elliott. He can't find the pass. He can't handle it. Collingwood back the other way. And they're now going. They got numbers going the other way. 3-on-2. Bergsma. Shot on. Hits Coote right in the chest. Weller with the ball. He'll send it to McLeod. Parker Piper with the ball. Will McLeod. One-hand feed to Renault. Sends it to Kerrigan. He gets knocked to the turf. And Collingwood comes away with the ball. Or do they? Loose ball action. Oh, they do come away with it. John Weller in on it. Ball gets sent to Colin Matthews. He comes around the top. Jacob Hickey looking to slow him down. He's able to do that for a brief moment. Ball comes back out to Steve Portelli. 10 on the shot clock for Collingwood. Far side. Forsyth looking for some room. Can't find it. Portelli. 4 on the shot clock. Back to Forsyth. He needs a shot. Far side. Doesn't hit the mark. Oh, it does. Officials are going to say that it did hit either Coote or the net. That's a full 30-second reset for the Crews. Forsyth looking for the pass. He can't handle it. Neither can Coop. Nonetheless, Forsyth will take that in the corner. Daryl Robertson. Nope. Sorry, that is number 12, not 42. Again, we don't know who number 12 is on the Merchants, but we do know that he has played some meaningful minutes for them in this game tonight. Darren Elliott with the ball now. 6 to go on the shot clock. Jacob Hickey out there. He dips and dunks. Shot misses wide, and it's a crease violation. Going to go back for Collingwood. 6:41 remaining in this third period. Brooklyn still leads by 10. 12-2 is your score. Meanwhile, the Crews looking to make something happen. That's a pass, that's a shot that gets blocked. Peyton Wallace now going the other way, number 14. He will make something happen. Oh, he tried to spin inside but lost the handle, and Hayner will corral it for the Crews. You got some jawing going on here between Peroni and Edwards. And with the loose ball in the corner, an errant slash is going to come to the Crews. That is number 7, Nick Negro. The loose ball infractions are the ones that no coach wants to take because it is just a lazy play at the end of the day. Play the ball, not the body, and that is unfortunately what Negro did not do, as he played the body and not the ball, and now will earn him 2 minutes or less in the sin bin. 6:03 remaining here in this third period. Merchants still holding on to their 10-goal lead. They would like to win by double digits. Every team would want to, and we think that's the way that this will go. Brooklyn back out with their star-studded power play unit. Will McLeod. He shoots. Breadbasket stopped by Hayner. Collingwood back the other way. Collingwood has done a lot of things right at the faceoff dot tonight, but that's the only thing that they have done right, as they have had no luck offensively. Their defense has been letting them down, and penalties have been hurting them. And as such, you will find yourselves losing by 10 or more. 4 seconds left now. 55's got to go to the net. He can't do that. Can't get the shot off. That'll be a shot clock violation. Brooklyn ball. Number 19, Devin Pfeiffer, will bring the ball up for the Merchants. Just over 5 minutes to go in this third period. Brooklyn doesn't need a goal, but they would like it. They can also work on something new on their offensive set. They won't try anything there as McLeod just fires a shot from the top. Doesn't get through. Twister pass all the way down the floor. Caught by Collingwood. Shoots and scores. One heck of a twister pass sent by Scott Edwards is corralled by number 14, Steve Portelli, and he is able to wait out Coote to score Collingwood's third goal of the game, shorthanded nonetheless. It's those broken plays in transition when you're on the PK that can fool a team very much. And I think that's just what happened. The Merchants got caught lacking a little bit, and Portelli able to sneak in behind Brooklyn and score his first of the game and Collingwood's third. Face-off won by Brooklyn. Scott Reed comes away with it. He takes a couple hacks, feeds it off. Shot on, missed. Collingwood will take the ball back. 30 seconds remaining on their penalty. They will have one more possession to kill off. Colin Matthews going hard to the net. Stays out of the crease, manages somehow. Not sure how he did. Jacob Hickey checks that ball out, but Matthews will get it back. Forsyth will send it up to Graham Bergsma. Forsyth now, 7 seconds left, looking for a shot. Can't get his hands free. Now he does, stop on by Coote. And that will be the end of the power play for the Merchants. Back to 5-on-5 action. Brooklyn unable to score on that man advantage. Not that they needed it, but Collingwood was able to get a shorthanded marker as we play with 3 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in this third period. Kerrigan with the ball on the inside, loses it, and as such, he is going to commit an infraction here as the Collingwood player went to pick it up. And that's Kerrigan with the infraction on a trip. Could have been let go. I do understand what crew chief Ben Kirkwood was calling. And as they have a little bit of an exchange of a chuckle on their way to the penalty box. But nonetheless, it is a tripping infraction on Kerrigan with 3:33 remaining in this third period. Collingwood will go to the power play. Forsyth, Portelli, Bergsma, back to Portelli. Bergsma at the point. BTB fake, over to Edwards. He looks for something, shoots, scores. Just a classic outside shot. While on the power play, far side, goalies hate seeing that one coming. And it's now a 12-4 lacrosse game late in this third period. Face-off won by the Crews. That's been the only thing going right for them tonight, is winning at the face-off dot. By my count, they've only lost 2 or 3 draws, so they have been good at face-offs, but at nothing else. Forsyth drives to the net. He gets knocked down into the crease. That'll be a crease violation on the Crews. And Merchants back the other way. Adam Peroni with the ball now. He's going to step in. He wires a shot. Got through Hayner, but managed to stay out. Loose ball in the corner. Both teams fighting for it. Who will come away with it? Looks to be Eddie Renaud. He does have it for a second. Loses it. Gets it back. And that'll be Zach Kerrigan coming away with the ball. Adam Peroni looks up top to Parker Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer looking for a lane. One-hand flip inside, looking for Peroni, couldn't find it. But Renaud coming off from behind the net. He will find it. Over to Kerrigan. Peyton Wallace now on an offensive set. Eddie Renaud on his wrong side. He'll send it to Parker Pfeiffer. He needs to get a shot off and unable to do that as it was knocked down by his own teammate in Adam Peroni. Collingwood with the ball now. Back up across the timeline by Scott Edwards. Collingwood bench starting to get a little frustrated with the officials here late in this game in a one-sided affair as Brooklyn leads by 8. Shot on by the Crews. Misses the mark completely, and Brooklyn comes away with it. 2-on-1 with the trailer the end of their way. Cody Hamley looking for something. Not able to find it. Will McLeod shot on from the point. Stopped by Hayner. McLeod gets his own rebound. Shoots, scores. So Cody Hamley starts the 2-on-1, finds McLeod coming off the bench, shot from the point, gets stopped. McLeod finds his own rebound and is able to get it past Hayner for his 4th goal of the game today and his 7th of the season. 3 last night and 4 tonight. And if he stays with the Merchants, he's going to be a menace in the Senior B League all season long. But we will worry about that later as Brooklyn wins that faceoff by Scott Reed over to John Weller. He dips and dances, gets across the timeline to avoid an 8-second violation. Jacob Hickey now playing a little bit of offense. He'll stay out there. Devin Pfeiffer with the ball now up top. Again, Brooklyn doesn't have to go quick at all, so they can take as much time as they want to on this offensive set. Devin Pfeiffer with the ball. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Got to get a shot off. And they do not, as that ball was blocked and never reached the Collingwood goalie. Less than a minute to go in regulation. Portelli on a breakaway, stopped by Coote. Rebound controlled by Collingwood, and then they lose it. And that will be a penalty late in this game. Will be coming to number 77, Matt Brenzel of the Crews. Meanwhile, Peyton Wallace will just hold on to this ball, not do anything crazy, I stand corrected. He will do something crazy as he will just throw it out of bounds to kill that possession. And and Brenzel is just going to go to the penalty box. 2 minutes for a high sticking infraction. 34 seconds remaining in game time.
When they do handshake, do the sponsors.
34 seconds remaining in regulation. Brooklyn will just be content to hold the ball for their whole 30. 4 seconds separating shot and game clock. And this game is all but over. Brooklyn will come away with a 13-4 victory in their home opener of their 25th season against the Collingwood Crews. Both teams not in any rush whatsoever. He will just hold it, toss it to the corner, and that will do it. Brooklyn improves to 2-1 on the season. Collingwood drops to 0-3. Brooklyn 13, Collingwood 4 is your final score here on Sunday, May 11th. Happy Mother's Day to all of the moms out there that tuned in to watch this game. Hope you enjoyed your day, and we will see you next time here on JVI Sports Network. But before we go, we want to give one more shout out to the sponsors that are sponsoring this Brooklyn Merchants team for their 25th season. BMS Sanitation in Oshawa, Brooklyn Home Hardware, Sport Clips Brooklyn, Brooklyn Natural Health, Corrado's Restaurant and Bar in Brooklyn, C&R Transmission, Summit Access Solutions, Sports Section Oshawa, Langille Metal Recycling, Patlon Aircraft, the Royal Canadian Legion, Staples Canada Incorporated, Cobb's Bread in Brooklyn, Banter & Co. Brewing, Land & Gate Real Estate, Oshawa Hearing Aid Clinic, Black's Ice, and DKI CRCS. Thank you for sponsoring the Brooklyn Merchants. As I said, Brooklyn 13, Collingwood 4. We'll see you next time here on JVI Sports Network.